Hello there friends, it's Ashley here from The Loopy Lamb and theloopylamb.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at this book, Crochet Animal Blankets and Blocks by Ira Rott. It's a fun and colorful collection of crochet animal blocks that enables you to make a wide variety of different blanket designs and other fun crochet projects. Today we'll be taking an in-depth look at this new book from David and Charles Publishing, and I'll be sharing my review of this book with you. Keep watching to learn how you can enter to win a copy of the book for yourself as well. This book contains the patterns for 16 main animal block designs with instructions on how to make 2 additional new animals by making changes to 2 of the main animal block patterns, which is found in the additional ideas section at the back of the book. The block patterns in this book are the penguin, koala, dog, panda, pig, monkey, hippo, cat, sheep, sloth, lion, raccoon, cow, unicorn, bunny, and fox. And in the back of the book, you get the instructions to make a regular bear block, as well as a horse block, which is made using making changes to the unicorn block. While this colorful collection of crochet animal blocks provides a huge range of possibilities for creating some fantastic animal-themed blankets, Ira takes this book one step further by providing 7 different project ideas to help you get your creative juices flowing. The project ideas in the book are, there's this blanket here without a border. There is a blanket with a granny square border, a blanket with a shell border, these one block wonders, which is a doll blanket and a wall hanging, a cushion cover, and a book bag and backpack. Now, although they give you the instructions to make these projects, you're not limited to just using the blocks that are used in the projects or just making blankets or these projects. The blocks are created with various applique techniques. So if you're not a fan of sewing, this is not going to be a book that you're going to thoroughly enjoy, because in order to get the look that is obtained in these patterns, there is a significant level of sewing. Another technique that is used heavily in the book is a simple crochet intarsia, which is a crochet colorwork technique. Each pattern in this book is written in the US terminology with a US to UK terminology conversion chart found on page 118. I found the patterns to be clear and easy to understand, and patterns are accompanied by stitch diagrams, which I always appreciate seeing as an added support. And you can see here on page 118 and 119, they've broken down the terminology and abbreviations in a really clean and unique way. Instead of having all these different photo tutorials, you've got these charts where you've got the abbreviation listed, the accompanying symbol that you'd identify in a stitch diagram, the US terminology followed by the British terms. And then they continue that on later here with the abbreviation, the symbol, and then the written instruction on how to execute every stitch that's used in the book. One of my favorite things about this book is the limitless possibilities that you can create with these squares. Now, these take your basic granny square and ramp it up a million times, but by adding these animal elements, and you can see here on the penguin that there's different options. So you can have a penguin with a bow in its hair, penguin with a bow tie, and just because the penguin has the bow doesn't mean you can't take the bow and apply it to, say, the panda here. And you can see here on the bottom, we've got different versions of the panda square as well. But beyond that, you can think of all the ways that a granny square can be used. I've seen granny squares made into sweaters and tablet cases and sunglass holders. This sunglass case might be a little too small of a project for this, but if you change your hook and yarn up, you could get away with making something much smaller and finding something functional. So just because we've got some projects that get you started, that doesn't mean you're limited to what's in the book. And I really like books that give you blocks like this for that reason. And the author does a great job of providing a lot of different variations and showing them off in her book. Now, I wanted to touch on the resources in the book. In the beginning of the book here on page 6, you'll find the different skill levels. This is, again, another fun way that this publisher illustrates the experience levels or skill levels needed for each pattern. There's easy, which is one flower, illustrated as one flower. There's moderate, which is illustrated as 2 flowers, and challenging, which is 3. Now, most of the patterns are relatively simple, but the harder they get essentially dictates how many specialty stitches or how many color changes are used within the blanket. The more color changes that are used within that blanket block, the more challenging it gets. On pages 8 and 9, we've got information about your gauge, how to adjust gauge, and how that affects your yarn usage and the size of your projects. The most important tip to take away from the gauge, especially if you're a beginner crocheter and don't plan to match gauge because you don't care what size your project comes out, just maintaining a consistent tension is the overall most important tip from that, is that you want to make sure you maintain the same tension throughout all of your blocks, so that way all of your blocks are the same size and they can be sewn together easily. On page 9, we go over tools and materials and the different crochet hooks that are used in this book. The yarn that's used in this book is all from Yarn Inspiration. So they're using Red Heart Super Saver, Burnett Super Value, and Burnett Premium. And the hook sizes range from 4.25 millimeter or G hooks to a 5.5 millimeter or I hook. In the back of the book here, we've got the useful information page that I'm showing you again, and all of the various resources that are available in the book for makers. We've got sewing stitches, and they've really streamlined this down. There's no step-by-step instructions here. We've just got some basic imagery to kind of illustrate the gist of what you're supposed to be doing. These sewing stitches here don't even have written instructions, but the illustrations are clear enough to kind of get you started in how you're going to need to do those stitches. Then they talk about the specialty stitches like the loop stitch, how to do intarsia or color work, and then creating different bobbins in order to more easily change colors for your color work. Then they talk about different ways that you can join blocks. We've got whip stitch, a mattress stitch, join as you go, and slip stitch joins. All of these were really clearly explained. And although I haven't done join as you go for a very long time, I found that still to be very clear and really easy to understand. Even if I hadn't done it before, I found that was clear. Then we've got, in the end of the book here, we've got our finishing touches that talks about things like making duo colored cords, tassels, and pom-poms. You can find a full breakdown of all of the resources available in the book, as well as the tools and materials used in this book over on my blog, theloopylamb.com, in the written version of this review. Overall, I loved Crochet Animal Blankets and Blocks, and not just for its clear and easy to understand patterns, but for its bright, colorful designs that provide almost limitless inspiration. Whether you want to make single animal blankets, quirky multi-animal designs, a toy bag, or even a tablet cover, this author has taken the time to provide you with the tools and beautiful patterns to do just that. I'd recommend this book for adventurous beginners and experienced crocheters alike. Now, I am giving away a copy of this book to one lucky winner over on my blog, theloopylamb.com. To find the full giveaway rules and details, you can check out the written version of this review on my blog, theloopylamb.com. Scroll down to the bottom, and there you'll find the full giveaway rules and the entry form. So that's it for me today, friends. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave them in the comment section below. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button and please consider subscribing to this channel. If you enjoy free crochet patterns, don't forget to check out my blog, theloopylamb.com. Thanks so much for watching, friends. Happy hooking, and I'll see you next time.